She thought I was a loser, just a schoolteacher with a humble paycheck and a rusty car. What she didn't know is that I'd been planning my silence louder than any argument. And when she walked out thinking she won, she handed me everything I needed to disappear and reemerge untouchable. This isn't just a divorce story. This is a blueprint for quiet power. Before we dive deeper, hit that like and subscribe if you've ever dreamed of silent revenge. This story, it'll crawl under your skin. Stick around until the end. Trust me, you don't want to miss how this ends. I wasn't supposed to be home. That's the part that echoes in my skull louder than the words she said. It's funny how your whole life can tilt off its axis because you forgot your umbrella. The rain had come in fast, thick drops that slapped the windshield like someone trying to wake me up. I'd left school early. One of my students threw up in the middle of class, and the janitor never showed. The principal told us to just go home, so I did. I took the long route, stopped at Kroger, to grab oat milk, eggs, and her favorite sliced turkey, the one with cracked pepper she always said made sandwiches feel fancy. I didn't even bother with a bag, just shoved everything into one of those reusable totes with a busted strap. The sky was already bruising purple when I pulled into the driveway. I remember thinking I'd barely beat the storm. I unlocked the side door and stepped in, soaked to the bone. My sneakers squelched against the hardwood like dying frogs. I dropped the bag by the kitchen island and wiped the sweat off my neck. Grass clippings clung to my forearms from the lawn I'd mowed just an hour earlier. Then I heard it. Her voice, sharp, flat, unbothered, like someone reading a grocery list. I'm divorcing him. I can't live on his pathetic salary anymore. I didn't move, didn't make a sound. I felt the blood drain from my face, but my heart, it was quiet. No racing, no panic, just still. And then I heard her mother's voice, Margie, the woman who never liked me. Well, finally, you gave it your best shot, sweetie. And they laughed. It wasn't even awkward laughter. It was relaxed, familiar. Like this was a long, anticipated celebration. I could practically hear the wine glasses clink. They didn't know I was there. Just one wall away, not in a bedroom, not hiding behind a couch, just standing in my own kitchen, like a ghost in my own life. The bag slipped from my fingers. The oat milk hit the floor with a wet slap, eggs cracking silently inside their carton. I didn't even look down, just stood there. You always think betrayal will come with shouting, tears, maybe even a thrown plate. But this was worse. This was casual. This was rehearsed. She wasn't whispering. She wasn't crying. She wasn't even conflicted. She was just done. No part of her voice hinted at doubt. No flicker of hesitation, like she was finally checking off the last box on a to-do list she had been working through for years. And that's when something inside me shifted. Not shattered, not snapped. Shifted like a door slowly clicking closed behind you, one you didn't know you'd walked through. I didn't clear my throat, didn't slam the door, didn't say a word. I just turned, walked past the photos on the wall, us at the lake, her birthday dinner, our wedding, each frame like a slap in the face. I opened the door to the garage. The familiar scent of motor oil, old cardboard, and dust hit me like a memory I didn't ask for, and I sat down in that old green chair she always told me to throw out. It's hideous, she used to say. It smells like mildew and failure. And I stared at the lawnmower I'd just used, its blade still damp, the grass clippings clinging to the wheels like guilt. Outside, the rain hit the roof like applause. Steady, relentless, and I sat there for an hour, maybe more. The thunder rolled like distant anger, but I didn't feel rage. Not yet. I felt clarity. You don't beg someone who's already writing your eulogy while painting their nails. You don't plead for love that's been dead longer than you realized. So I made a decision, not to win her back, not to prove anything, but to disappear from her story and start writing mine. The next morning, I didn't say a word. She walked into the kitchen in her silk robe, sipping coffee like it was any other Tuesday, not a flicker of guilt in her eyes. She didn't know I'd heard everything, and I wasn't about to let her know. There's a certain power in silence. When you know someone's truth, and they think you're still in the dark, you become invisible, but dangerous. I watched her kiss me on the cheek and mumble, "Don't forget the rent's due Friday," like we were still a team, like she wasn't actively planning her escape, her upgrade. But I played along. I made breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and that cracked pepper turkey she liked so much. She didn't notice my hands trembled just slightly when I passed her plate. She scrolled through Zillow on her phone while chewing. Her fingers stopped on a modern condo downtown. White walls, big windows. Cold. That would be a fresh start, she muttered, not even looking at me. That was the moment I decided she wouldn't get the drama she was probably expecting. No begging, no fights, no emotional confessions, just silence, precision, and something she'd never seen in me before. Strategy. I started taking mental notes, watching her, what she Googled, where she went, how long she stayed at yoga. Spoiler: it wasn't yoga. I discovered a hidden folder on her laptop labeled legal stuff. Inside, drafts of divorce papers, alimony calculations, screenshots of my bank statements. She had been preparing this for months. The betrayal wasn't spontaneous. It was engineered. She was planning to drain me emotionally, financially, socially. I was just the final obstacle to her freedom. That night, while she slept beside me peacefully, shamelessly, I laid awake, staring at the ceiling fan. I realized the worst part wasn't losing her. It was realizing that for the last 2 years, I'd been sleeping next to someone who had already checked out. So I started making plans, but not like hers. Mine wouldn't involve lawyers or pity. Mine wouldn't just be an exit. It would be a silent erasure. I'd vanish from her narrative, but not before I made sure she lost everything she took for granted. And the best part? She'd never see it coming. The first thing I did was stop existing on paper. No warning, no drama, just subtle erasure. I opened a brand new checking account under a different bank, transferred half my savings, little by little. Nothing that would trigger suspicion or emails. I canceled all auto payments tied to our joint accounts and redirected my paycheck without a word. I even let 1 or 2 bills accidentally bounce. She noticed. "You forgot to pay the internet again," she snapped one night. "Do I have to do everything?" I apologized, softly, meekly, like the clueless idiot she thought I was. And while she rolled her eyes and slammed doors, I sat in the garage with my laptop building a new version of myself, a post-marriage version. I started applying for remote jobs, freelance gigs I could do anonymously, something that wouldn't tie me to any location. Within 2 weeks, I was making side income as a copy editor for a digital publishing house. It wasn't glamorous, but it was clean, invisible. I began selling my collectibles, vintage comics, an old Fender guitar, even my childhood baseball cards. All cash, all quiet. She didn't notice a thing. I deleted old accounts, removed my name from joint subscriptions, canceled insurance policies I no longer needed. I wasn't divorcing her. I was dissolving myself from her world. Each step was calculated, rehearsed in my head like a scene from a spy film. No fingerprints, no trail. She started to get suspicious. Why did Netflix log me out? Why is our health insurance canceled? Where's the emergency fund? I shrugged. Bank must have messed something up. She didn't buy it, but she didn't push hard either. I think deep down, she wanted me to unravel, to explode, to throw things, to confirm her narrative that I was weak and unstable, but I didn't give her the satisfaction. I became boring, predictable, passive, just the poor, worn-out husband on his way to a nervous breakdown. At night, I still slept beside her, but emotionally, I was already in another country. I kept the routine, kissed her forehead, took out the trash, mowed the lawn, even planned a weekend getaway to a lake cabin we used to visit back when we actually liked each other. She thought it was a desperate move to fix our crumbling marriage. In reality, it was step 1 of the exit strategy. I wasn't planning to save this relationship. I was planning to haunt her memory forever. The lake house was the perfect stage. Isolated, quiet, no cell service, just old wood floors, creaky doors, and the smell of pine and firewood. It had always been her reset place. Back when things were good, she used to say it cleared her head. Now, it would clear her illusions. I told her the weekend was my idea of one last chance to fix things. She smirked, like she'd already won. "Maybe some time away will remind you what you have," she said, flipping her sunglasses down. Exactly. She packed 3 suitcases like she was auditioning for a reality show. I brought 1 backpack and a secret plan that had been building brick by brick. When we arrived, I played the role of the hopeful husband to perfection. Cooked dinner, lit candles, asked about her dreams. She basked in the attention, like a snake sunbathing on warm stone. But I wasn't there to reconnect. I was studying her rhythms, her triggers, her blind spots. Saturday night, I brought out wine. We laughed. She let her guard down, and somewhere between her third glass and the fireplace crackling behind us, she started talking. You know, if you just made more of yourself, maybe I wouldn't have felt so trapped. I nodded, sipped my drink. I wasted my prime years, she added, not even looking at me. You were a stepping stone. I just thought you'd become more. There it was. The truth. No shame, no filter. I smiled and said, thank you for being honest. She thought I was breaking, but I was cataloging every word, like evidence. The next morning, I left early to grab breakfast in town. In reality, I drove 45 minutes to the nearest city, walked into a private law firm, and paid cash for a 1-hour consult. The lawyer I met specialized in strategic asset protection and non-contested exits. I gave him everything: emails, screenshots, timelines, bank records. He looked at me and said, "You're not divorcing her, you're defeating her." Exactly. He gave me a checklist, a digital playbook. Over the next 2 weeks, I followed it like scripture. I moved all funds into protected accounts, pulled my name off every joint asset, and made sure she couldn't legally touch anything I hadn't already decided to give her. Then, I changed my will. I made her the beneficiary of nothing. Not a cent, not a single item. I wasn't just walking away. I was erasing her access to everything she believed she was entitled to. And she was too busy planning her next chapter to notice. She thought she was 5 steps ahead. She didn't realize I'd already flipped the board. It happened on a Tuesday. I remember because she was on her second Zoom call, pacing around in yoga pants, barking orders to her assistant, and sipping a $7 matcha like she owned the world. She had no idea I was about to burn it down. That morning, a thick envelope was hand-delivered to the house, no return address. Inside, notarized documents, asset transfers, legal terminations of all joint financial ties. The look on her face when she opened it, I wish I could frame it. "What is this?" she asked, voice already shaking. I stood by the kitchen counter, calm as winter. "That's freedom," I said, "yours and mine." She flipped through the pages, confusion melting into panic. "Wait, you can't do this. You can't just walk away." Oh, but I could. I wasn't begging for her back. I wasn't pleading to make things work. I had given her exactly what she said she wanted: a clean break, but with nothing attached. The house, already transferred to my name months ago, through a trust. The savings account she thought we'd split, already liquidated and secured offshore. The car she drove, leased in my name. Return date scheduled for Friday. I had stripped away every illusion of security she had. She had bet everything on a man too broken to fight back, and lost. "You've been planning this?" she whispered. I nodded. "Since the day you called me pathetic while sipping wine with your mom." Silence. She blinked like she'd been slapped by a ghost. Then came the tears, not of heartbreak, but of exposure. "You can't just leave me with nothing," she cried. "This isn't fair." Fair? That word hit me like a punchline. You were never going to fight fair. I just beat you at your own game. She tried to threaten lawyers, tried to weaponize guilt, even dangled the idea of working things out. But it was too late. My exit wasn't emotional. It was surgical. And just like that, I picked up my duffel bag, walked to the door, and said, "You're free now. Just not the way you imagined." Then I left. No screaming, no slamming doors, just the weight of consequences finally catching up to her. And me? I never looked back. The silence after the storm was beautiful. No more slammed doors. No more passive-aggressive digs at dinner. No more waking up wondering if the person beside me resented my very existence. Just peace. I moved into a small loft downtown. Nothing fancy. Exposed brick, one window, a mattress on the floor, but it felt like mine. I'd wake up before the sun, make coffee in silence, and read. No accusations, no judgment, no tension. She, on the other hand, was unraveling. Mutual friends, well, Mostly her friends started texting me. She's saying you ghosted her. She thought you were broke? Man, she's losing it. Apparently, she didn't take the loss well. The image she had built of the poor, pathetic husband holding her back was starting to crack. She went back to her mother's for a while, filed a complaint with my HR, only to find out I didn't work there anymore. Tried to get a lawyer to dig into my finances, but found everything already tied up in trusts and LLCs she couldn't touch. She even tried to post about me on Facebook, playing the victim, but I had receipts. Literal ones. I posted a single, polite reply with screenshots of her telling her mother she was tired of pretending to love a man with a cheap job and a cheaper soul. The comments turned fast. Wow, girl, that's cold. He did everything for you, and you threw him out like trash? Her own narrative collapsed under the weight of her words. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. I just watched from the sidelines as karma arrived in designer heels and ripped her reputation apart. Months later, she messaged me. Just one line. Do you ever think we gave up too soon? I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I typed, number I think you gave up the moment you thought I was beneath you. And that was it. Blocked. Deleted. Gone. She lost a husband. She lost her comfort. She lost control. I didn't need revenge that screamed. I wanted a revenge that echoed. And every time she looks at her bank account, every time she sees a couple in love and wonders what it feels like to be valued, she'll hear it. That echo. It's funny how silence used to scare me. Back then, it meant tension, distance, something about to explode. Now, silence is sacred. No more slammed doors. No more fake smiles across the dinner table. No more pretending I was happy just to avoid being alone. These days, I wake up in my own place, a small loft. Nothing special on paper, but it breathes peace. A window that lets in morning light, the sound of the city waking up, the kind of quiet that feels earned. I started tending to the little backyard behind the building, planted herbs, tomatoes, even a lemon tree in a pot. Funny thing is, I used to mow lawns to make her happy. Now, I grow life for me. Sometimes, when I'm watering the basil, I think of her, not with anger, not even bitterness, just a dull memory like a scar I don't notice unless I press on it. She wanted a life I didn't fit in. Now, I have a life she could never survive in, and that's all the closure I ever needed. A few months after everything went public, I got a LinkedIn request. It wasn't from her. It was from her mom, Margie. The same woman who once toasted to my failure at her kitchen table was now trying to endorse my project management skills. She even messaged me. Didn't realize how talented you were. Hope you're doing well. I stared at the screen for a moment, almost laughed, declined the request, blocked her. Some people don't change, they just get quieter when the tables turn. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. They're meant to burn bright enough to light your way forward. Don't waste your worth proving it to someone who decided you were small the moment you stopped being useful to them. If they loved you for the wrong reasons, let them lose you for the right ones. And when they finally realize who you were all along, let them sit with the silence. Because the loudest revenge is thriving so hard they can't even say your name without choking on regret. She thought she was walking away from a burden. Turns out, she walked away from the best thing that ever happened to her, before it even started to shine. Now, the life she wanted is nothing but a filtered highlight reel. And the life I'm living? It's real. Raw. Mine. And the craziest part? I should thank her, because sometimes being thrown away is the exact push you need to build something no one can take from you again. We all have a breaking point, but there's something beautiful about hitting the bottom, because once you do, you stop trying to impress people who never saw your worth in the first place. You start rebuilding in silence. You start planting seeds no one claps for until the forest grows. That's when revenge stops being about them and becomes something bigger, cleaner, and permanent. Not fire, freedom. Now I want to hear your story. Have you ever been betrayed by someone who smiled to your face and stabbed your back the moment you turned around? Tell me in the comments. The world needs your voice. And if this hit home, if you felt this in your chest, like, subscribe, share, not just for me, but for every underdog who's still in the storm and needs to know the pain, it's real, but so is the comeback. If this story made your heart race, if you've ever been betrayed, underestimated, or discarded, then you already know the power of rising silently and letting success speak for you. Now I want to hear your story. What's the most savage revenge you've ever seen or wanted to serve? Tell me in the comments. I read every one of them. And if this hit you hard, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to remember. They're not weak. They're just sharpening their blade. Until next time, stay dangerous. Stay sharp.